Okay, let's get an update on inclement weather conditions in KwaZulu-Natal. I'm joined by Ndabezinhle Sibiya, spokesperson for the KZN Department of Transport and Human Settlements. A very good evening to you, Ndabezinhle. Has that inclement weather already kicked in yet in KZN? From the little bit that we could see from our sports reporter who is down there, it looked a little sunny and not wet yet.
Well, no, thank you very much. Yeah, the weather in KwaZulu-Natal is quite unpredictable, but obviously the cutoff low pressure system, it is also difficult to predict, changes now and again. And but the MEC for Transport and Human Settlements, Bonso Duma, met with management, yesterday, yesterday and as well as on Thursday, ensuring that we are ready for any severe weather pattern. We are obviously looking forward to, tomorrow. The MEC will be on the ground, moving up and down along the N3, as we know that we have a Comrades Marathon. So he has said, to the highly efficient team from Road Traffic Inspectorate, they need to be on full alert. If you look at, sometime last year, as you all know, we experienced, that cutoff low pressure system that triggered the snowfall along the N3, especially in areas such as Underberg, Drakensberg, as well as Ladysmith. That is why we have, graders that are stationed there so that we are able to move in if there is any snowfall.
And speaking also about the Comrades Marathon that you've mentioned now as well, it is all systems go. Lots of people have made their way down to KZN to participate in it tomorrow as well. How have the roads been?
Well, we have an integrated approach involving, the RTI team. You've got Umsunduzi municipality as well as Metropolis eThekwini working in a coordinated fashion. The MEC has really saluted, the Comrades Marathon Association, the manner in which they are executing this important, international event. And as you know, we are talking here about, comrades, marathon runners from different parts of the globe coming into KwaZulu-Natal with their families. The MEC has said the Department of Transport must be a catalyst, for the growth of tourism industry. That is why when we were approaching the actual, June month, we worked with the association to do some repair to some of the roads that were damaged by, prolonged rainfall as a result of the cutoff low pressure system. But over and above what one has just highlighted, we can indicate that we have, the team that is already, working with the Metropolis for both municipalities, so that come tomorrow morning, we are able to ensure the free flow of traffic as well as the safety of runners.
It also appears that, and you mentioned as well, of course, the unpredictability of the weather with it all, but also the higher chances of this inclement weather intensifying from today, tomorrow, as well as Monday and Tuesday. And that's why we also heard in that package before this interview, the COGTA minister saying that if those who are traveling on Monday and Tuesday could delay it, they should do so. I'm presuming a lot of those people who are taking part in the Comrades Marathon tomorrow would be planned and scheduled to leave on Monday and Tuesday. As a department in KZN, are you also making provisions for those mass travels that would probably take place from Monday and Tuesday?
Well, there are plans that have been put in place. If you look at, the N3 between Ladysmith to Gelatoll, R617 between Kokstad and Underberg, you look at N2 Moy River. If you come to, the parts of that are located along the coastline, N2, we are, working with all municipalities along the coastline. The Renkonyen municipality, look at Umhlatuze up to Zeno Mhlabalingana, because we've got runners that are coming from the neighboring countries. So we've got teams that are actually going to be monitoring the movement of traffic. But over and above that, it is important to indicate that, when the MEC Duma assumed the responsibility, he spoke about the agility of the Department of, Transport as well as Human Settlements. That is why we also have a roving team from Human Settlements working with National Department of Human Settlements, the minister at national level, Tembi Simelane, getting briefings from the MEC, because when we talk about the cutoff pressure system, it triggers snowfall, it also triggers mudslides. Number three, it also, triggers the rise in water table. That is what we experienced in H section in Umlazi. We had the rise in water table resulting in the houses collapsing. That is why the team from Human Settlements, led by the HOD Maximbili, is working, with the national team, as guided by the Minister Thembis Melane, so that as we, move forward over the next 2 days, we are able to move in very quickly, deal with any disaster that we will experience as the province of Natal.
And just finally, mentioning in your, speedy approach as well, when we take a look at, the recent floods that have taken place in KZN in recent years, and of course mentioning that snowfall along the N3 last year as well, what lessons have been learned by the department that are being implemented to make sure that all systems are clear for this inclement weather conditions that we can expect?
MEC Sponsor Duma talks about the focus on sparing hope for a better future. It talks about working with institutions of higher learning so that there's that coordination with experts. If you look at the snowfall that we experienced last year, you talk about 15 centimeters, in depth. That is why we have graders that are stationed, around 21 graders that will move in quickly to remove the snow so that there's no accumulation of snow to 30 centimeters. If you look at what we experienced, about 1,822 cars were stuck, and as well as 700 trucks. On Friday, there was a meeting, coordinated, by the department together with the Office of the PM and other relevant, departments, looking at the entire logistics and, freight industry. We have that ongoing interaction with the Freight Association so that when we talk about trucks, there is no congestion on our road. I think the message that is, communicated by, the MEC Duma, he communicated that message yesterday when he met with the traditional leaders in Ilembe district, that we need to work together. The institution of, traditional leadership is very critical because if you look at human settlements, most of the, communities, some are living in riverbeds, in riverbanks, in low-lying areas. That is why in the meeting with traditional leaders, we've been able to identify land where we are already moving communities that are living in riverbanks, so that if there is any, prolonged rainfall that, triggers, the floods, we are able to ensure the safety of those communities. So those are some of the lessons that we've learned. In terms of the snow, we are ready. We've got graders that are on standby, so that if there's any snowfall, they move in to remove, the snow, so that it doesn't really accumulate in 30 centimeters. That will result in many cars getting stuck on the freeway.
Ndabezinhle Sibiya, thank you so much for sharing that update with us. Appreciate your time.